Would you like to know how to make perfectly matched seams every single time? Well, stick around for a few minutes and I'll show you how to make seam nesting so easy. Hi everybody, welcome in. I'm so glad to see you guys. So today we are actually going to talk a little bit about how we can actually use nested seams to our advantage and what are they? So when we are actually piecing blocks together, there are many times where we have intersections that need to match up. And if you're a beginner, it could be difficult for you to figure out how to match those up so that they meet each and every time. So what I'm going to talk to you today about is nested seams and what that means. The first step with matching these points perfectly and creating nesting seams is ironing. So I am going to take these rows here for a simple 9-patch block. I am going to take these rows over to the iron and I'm going to iron these in two different directions. I'm going to iron these seams to the dark side on both of these. On this one, I'm also going to iron toward the dark side, but they're going to go in the opposite direction as these are. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to iron these guys back. And I have a little trick here. Anytime you want to iron your seams toward a certain side, I want you to put that side up on your ironing mat. And then you're going to go ahead and warm up that seam and you're going to roll this back like so. And what that did is now this seam is toward that side. Let's do it again. I'm going to have this side up because this is the side I want to iron toward. I'm going to heat up that seam and I'm going to gently roll it back. So now both of these seams are going toward that side. Let's do it again. The side that I want to iron toward is up. Warm it up. Roll it back. Again. Side I want to iron to is up. Warm it up. And roll it back. All right, now for this row. This row is going to go toward the center square, which is also toward the dark. So again, whatever side I am ironing to goes to the top. There we go. And then you roll it back. Let's do that again. So whatever side I am ironing to, I'm going to iron to this side, goes to the top. And I roll it back. So now this row are going this direction. Okay, so here we have it. Now, these two rows are ironed exactly the same way, and this one is in the opposite direction. And what that does is when I put these two rows together, you are going to see how these seams are going in opposite directions. And what that naturally does is it helps you to nest these seams. Let me explain what that means. So when you have a piece of fabric and it's pressed to one side, and then you have another piece of fabric that is also pressed to the same side. What that does is it creates a little bit of a ridge right here. Okay? And what that does is it helps you to find how far you need to go to butt those seams up against each other. So when you put two sides together, you're going to be able to butt these two up against each other and they'll stop in the right place. Let me show you. So I'm going to put these two pieces right sides together. And I'm going to feel with my fingers here how this feels. If these are too far apart, okay, you can see here, they're not matching at all. And when they're too far apart, I actually feel there's like a divot right here. It's not a smooth transition. If I have these two in the wrong place and they're overlapping, now I feel a bump going this direction, and I know that's not flat. But when you can take these two pieces and basically scooch them with your fingers, you just scooch them until they stop naturally, you're going to feel that this is nice and flat. Everything feels exactly the same, and you're going to see how perfectly they match up. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pin, and my seam is right here. This is where my seam is. I'm going to take my pin, and I'm going to put it to the right of that seam. And I'm going to come out on the left side of that seam. So now I've got this pinned almost the same way I have my fingers holding that together. It's going to keep that join nice and tight. When I start my pin on the right side of the seam, as I am approaching with my stitching, as soon as I get past that stitching line, I can stop and pull my pin. I will not have any problems with accidentally running over my pins this way and possibly breaking a needle on my machine. Nobody wants that. That's another good reason to start on the right and end on the left. Let's do it again. Take a pin. I'm going to butt those up with my fingers. I'm going to take a pin. Start on the right of the seam, end on the left of the seam. I'm also going to make sure that my two corners at the end are also pinned so that will match every time as well. I'm going to take this over to the machine. I'm going to sew a 1/4 of an inch seam all the way down. I'm going to do a back tack at the beginning and the end. Stopping as soon as I get past those stitches, pull my pin. Stopping as soon as I pass those stitches, pull my pin. And then do a back tack. So now, when I open this up, you should see that those points match exactly. Let me show you up close. Okay, now let's do it again. I'm going to flip this around, take this row, and do the same thing. Pretty sides together. I'm going to take these two here. You can see they're not lined up. And I'm just going to scooch it with my finger until it stops and it feels nice and flat. Put a pin in that intersection. Do the same thing with this intersection. Butt it up with my fingers. Put a pin. And put a pin at the end. Let me take a minute to invite you to subscribe. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button up above. Also, if you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would certainly appreciate that as well. Also, if you have any comments or any questions, feel free to post those below. I love reading all of your comments. If any of you ever are interested in seeing me teach live, I am live 3 days a week on Twitch. You can find my Twitch link down below in the description as well. And here we are with our finished block. And you can see those joins are right on the money. This one may be a tad bit over. But from this distance, I can't tell. So there you have it. Perfect intersections every single time with nested seams. I hope this video has helped you. I hope you give this a try. If this has been one of your pet peeves with piecing, let's hope that this has solved that problem for you. I sure have enjoyed having you here today. I hope I see you again very soon. Until next time, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And happy quilting. Bye, everyone.